forward to try and deal with this? Because you can beat this, Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, it had disappeared. It had gone for a month. I'd been doing a course of hypnotherapy, like you say, for 2 months, and it went. Just over the last few days, I've had a couple of stutters here and there, and obviously, as you saw yesterday on the stage, there was another reaction to it. But I didn't expect it to be quite as bad as it was. But like I say, I had my moments, and
Yes.
you've just got to carry on, Ray. You know.
What goes through your mind when it kicks in, Kevin?
Well, you try not to get. It's try not to panic, really, to be honest. But your brain is not in control of what you're doing. So,
Talk us through this, what you're experiencing.
yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm thinking throw, and my brain's telling me don't throw. You know, it's a really weird thing. Just throwing a dart at a dartboard is the easiest thing in the world to do. And you know, when you're struggling like that, it's not good. Of course, I had the backing of the crowd. That's very nice of them, and you know, I mean, this eventually I'll get it out of my hand, and it goes exactly where I'm aiming it, which is.
But look what you do then. 156 to stay in it.
Yeah, nice when it goes in, Ray. But you know, I just had to carry on, Ray. It's one of them. You know, as I say, I had a couple of other chances, but it wasn't to be.
We all were watching you going through that mental anguish. Are you actually, your plan is, I noticed there, and I don't know if it's what you do it all the time, I noticed there you seem to stare at the floor slightly and then lift your head and go for the treble 20.
Yeah, I mean, once the problem is like it is, it's throwing at the top of the board is more of a problem. That's why I was letting a lot of darts go down at the 19s first to just get me going. Throw it at the 19s and then move back up the top of the board. The top of the board is the problem, getting your arm to go, you know, up high enough to release the dart.
What's the next step? Will you be seeing the hypnotherapist again, or do you have that course now, you just keep working at it?
Yeah, I'll just carry on doing what I'm doing. I've got audio tapes to listen to, and I shall carry on, and it will go. You know, it's just sooner the better, but I will carry on, Ray.
Yeah, we know what you like, we know you're a fighter. When the crowd showed such support, you were having to check and go back, and having to check and go back, and then the crowd were offering you support. What impact does that have on you?
Yeah, it's a great feeling. It's nice that, you know, they're not getting fed up with it. They know what I'm going through, obviously, and it's not nice. But you know, I'll deal with it and I'll get through it. I'm determined to get through it. So, like I say, it went for a month.
Yes.
I'm hoping it goes and stays gone, you know.
I'm sure it will. Do you mind talking about it, or do you?
No, not at all. There's plenty of dart players have had dartitis
Absolutely,
over the
yeah.
years and that, and there's people that are non-professional dart players have got it, and they ask me questions about it, and no, I'll just carry on, Ray.
Yeah. People tell me some players have different little triggers to help them, like an extra dart in their hand, or, as you said, maybe looking down, a fourth dart, something, a pen or something. I'm sure you've considered everything.
Yeah, well, the thing is, because it doesn't appear when I'm practicing and everything, it's nothing I can sort of practice to try. It's just a case of when I actually get there under the pressure, I suppose, if you like, that's when it starts. So I can't, when I'm out the back yesterday 3 hours, you could have stood there and watched me for 3 hours, not once, you know, and then...
Are you on autopilot sometimes, Kevin? You're playing and then everything's fine. Then all of a sudden, when it hits, that must be a bit of a sledgehammer, is it?
Yeah, look, Ray, the brain is a complex thing. If we all know how it works, it'd be easy to just switch on, switch off, wouldn't it? But it's something I've got to learn to do.
Yeah. I'm sure you're aware of the support you have from darts players and darts fans. I'm sure you're aware of the incredible reaction there has been to support you and going forward. Does that help?
Yeah, I appreciate it all. Well, you know, no one wants to see someone, you know, struggling like that. We want to see people just throw.
Now, while you're here, you better do a little bit of work. What about this next game?
Yeah, well, it should be tight on paper. Both lads will expect to play a bit better than they did yesterday.
David Cameron, actually, I noticed him just knocking your arm a couple of times yesterday. He was very respectful of what you were experiencing.
Yeah, nice fella, Dave, and I appreciate that as well. And Dave will expect to play a little bit better than he did yesterday. Obviously, the speed I was going wasn't helping him.
And John will expect to play better as well. He'll need to play better, won't he, John Henderson?
Yeah, well, John's getting regular darts on the Pro Tour, so he should be on reasonable form, so he will expect to play a lot better. Yeah.
Look, it goes without saying, all the very best. And thank you for
Ray.
coming to talk about it. This is not an easy situation, but typical you're facing it head on. You'll be back up there snarling and celebrating before we know it.
I hope so, Ray.
Well done, Kevin Painter.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Next match, Paul Starr will introduce the players.